Hello and welcome to Heroes Explain, to a retelling of Dimensi'O's story. I'm gonna keep the old original videos up of the story of Dimensi'O, but I'm gonna start fresh and anew and retell the story, and hopefully be a little more in depth and better at telling the story than I was last time. And I really want to make this done right. It's gonna be it's kind of a New Year's resolution to get the story of Dimensi'O done properly and right, and finish it at least this year, or a good chunk of it. I know I couldn't finish the whole thing this year, but hopefully you guys enjoy. And yeah, so this video will also be different, and the storytelling would also be different because I'll be using the pause and play function to actually and like yeah, to actually pause and play and collect my thoughts and words before I continue with some stuff and whatever, and really think deeply upon it, and actually be editing the videos. Hopefully, maybe not all of them, but a good chunk of them may be slightly edited and whatever. And I know our rule kind of thing was no editing when recording a video and stuff, and I really want to stay true to that. But for some, I just want this done properly. So for some videos of this dimensional storytelling series, will be maybe edited. It will be for sure paused to collect my voice and think through my thoughts. But yeah, hopefully this will go well and smooth. And if you're watching this years later, well, thank you. And if you're watching it when it's first released, even more of a thank you. Yeah, I just want to get this story out and told, and hopefully it will do something and go somewhere and stuff. Yeah, so here's hoping for the best. Without further ado, the story of Dimensi'O, remastered for your benefit. How should a story start? Should it start with the introduction of the character, explaining what they look like, what they do, how they act? Or should it start with the main character fighting against the darkest evil, trying to prevail, and then flash back into the past on how he got there? What makes a good story start off good? Is the story good because it started off well, or is it good because of how it gets there? How it's explained, how it's told? What makes a great story great? Well, this is the story of a boy who doesn't consider himself great, good, nor fantastic. He never saw himself going, saving worlds, helping people, and slaying monsters. This is a story of just a dude who thinks of himself as a normal, average person, traveling place to place, doing what he can. Yes, this is a story of just a normal, regular, average dude who can travel through different dimensions and doing what he can. The name of said character is called Robert Arthur. He was a nice young boy, grew up nice and kind, with a loving, kind family. His father was a scientist who did researches in developing teleportation and cross-dimensional hopping. He was a brilliant, wise man and was praised for all of his work and inventions. The boy's mother was a nurse when she first met his father, and they fell in love. They got married and had a bunch of kids. She decided to quit her job and be a stay-at-home mom, raising the boys that they had, which was four. Robert was the youngest of the bunch, but he was the only really unique one of the lot. He had the ability to create portals at will, linking them from one point A to point B, allowing objects and stuff to pass through said portals without any repercussions or downsides. His father really loved his son because of that, and was a huge help in research and development teleportation technology. But after a while, things took a turn for the worse for the lad. When he was only 8 years old, his brothers dared him to open a portal to another world and step inside and close it. The reason for this is because his brothers didn't like him. He was always the favorite child, the youngest brother that got all the glory. His father took him to his research lab numerous amount of times, trying to crack the code to figure out what's so unique about his abilities and how he can mimic it through technology to make teleportation possible. And the mom, of course, because he was the youngest, was coddled way more than the others. So his brothers resented him deeply for these two reasons. And because of that, they dared him to open a portal to another world and step through it and close it, standing on the other side for 15 minutes. He was only allowed a backpack with a few small stuff inside of it, snacks, a flashlight, and other stuff that he may need for a 15-minute wait. What they thought was just a harmless, simple prank turned into something far worse. As the portal opened and he stepped through, on the other side was a lush, plains-like world with a few trees dotted here and there. When he closed it and turned his back to look behind him, there was a lush forest, rainbow-colored leaves, and very bright bark. The trees seemed to twist and smile, dancing happily in the wind. The place felt happy and joyful. For a weird world, this seemed like a very joyful place. So he felt at ease closing the portal off, even though his parents told him to never do such a thing. For his ability worked where if he placed a portal to another world on one key location, then closed it and placed it on a different spot, the portal would lead to a different world, to a different place, as if he was punching a hole through a reality using a pressure point, and he would have to hit the same pressure point every time to get back to the world he desired. Knowing this, he marked the tree that the portal was on, and then proceeded to sit down and chill, reading a book or two, eating some snacks, enjoying his time, until he felt a weird chill down his spine. Hopping to his feet and ready and alert, pulling out his pocket knife, he looked around his surroundings to see what was that dangerous chill that he felt. Off in the distance was a black figure moving dangerously fast. Dimensi'O, not knowing what creature this was, whether it was hostile or not, he knew he just had to get away. So he proceeded to go and climb up the tree. Unaware if it could climb or not, he thought it was his best shot at surviving. As he was climbing halfway up the tree, the creature seemed to be right on top of him, moving very fast. Faster than any creature or vehicle he saw before, almost a blur as it darted across the plains. What was a speck is now fully sized and close. It stood 7 feet tall and stood on hind legs. It was fast, nimble, and quick. It was right on top of Robert in an instant, even though it was so far away. At a closer look, the thing had leather hide kind of skin, rough, coarse, but yet smooth to the touch by the looks of it. It had thin, razor-sharp claws and flat, sharp feet. It was weird looking, had a tail to balance its weight as it leaned forward, darting across the open plains at quick speed, quickly catching up to the tree. The thing was quickly on him, arriving at the base of the tree way before he could even climb halfway up the tree. Fearing for his life, he pulled out a slingshot, knowing the knife would do absolutely nothing because it was too quick. Shooting the creature with a couple of berries that were on the tree. The monster, being agitated, started slicing through the trunk as if it was butter. The tree quickly toppled. Robert and the tree both fell down with a crash, hitting the floor hard. Taking a second to recuperate, he stood to his feet and see the creature towering over him, claws ready to slice through this weak, fleshy body. In an instant, out of a reaction of instinct and not any thought, he put a portal to his feet, leading to another dimension. He fell through it and closed it quick. But not just before the creature managed to scrape his leg. Due to the portal closing and its claws still on the one side of a dimension, it was sliced clean off from its body, trapped in the other dimension. Robert took his time to catch his breath, assessing his situation and the things around him, seeing what dimension he's in, and ready for another fight if another dangerous monster came by. But assessing his situation, nothing came by. All he was in another open field area with some hills and trees dotted about. With his back against a great oak tree, he slowly faded in and out of consciousness for a while. Knowing that his life is in grave danger, he quickly bandaged up his leg, using his shirt to put pressure on the open wound. Finding a branch nearby, he used it as a walking stick as he got up onto his feet and started moving. He saw a wall off into the distance, which means civilization and people. Hopefully somebody there could help him fix his leg and get back onto his feet. As he struggled on his journey heading towards the wall, a carriage came passing by. The coachman urged the horses to continue forward, giving him no thought in mind. But suddenly he heard a voice coming from the carriage, asking the person to pull over and stop. Out came a man, kind of plump and chubby, with a big smiling grin, and a booming, joyous voice. He told Robert to come on and enter the carriage with them, so that he could have easier travels. Dimensi'O, bleeding and slowly losing consciousness, quickly got into the carriage without a second thought. As he was entering the carriage, he saw a young girl with a pretty light blue dress that matched her light blue eyes and blonde hair. The plump man offered him a seat next to her, but Dimensi'O's leg was bleeding and he didn't want to ruin the dress. So, confused and didn't know what side to choose, the man just quickly guided him to the side next to her. The girl let out a smile, as if to encourage Robert in his endeavor and comfort him. But it was at that moment that Robert faded and lost consciousness, everything turning to black all around him, unaware if he will arrive to his destination with safety or wake up in a horrible, even worse situation. And that concludes this video, Chapter 1, or Part 1 of Chapter 1. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I really did try my best to make this sound really nice and flow well. I had to cut a lot of stuff around, and I fumbled with my words a lot. But yeah, hopefully I can continue this great series and be diligent enough to actually do this fully. Anyways, I don't really have a whole lot of pictures or stuff, as you guys are aware, so it'll just be the OC picture that I hired someone to pay to make a picture of Dimensi'O when he's like in his teens. Right now he's 8, and he joined the carriage of a random person, which you guys probably already heard if you listened to the first one. I don't remember how far I went with the first series of Dimensi'O's travel. This is probably a shorter and quicker paced one, and yeah. Anyways, Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm going to try and continue this format for the next remaining Dimensi'O video series. And hope you guys enjoy your day. Bubs out!